Hello. It's been a while, but that's okay. So I have been super busy. I've not taken a lot of videos lately, but I've tried, so we'll see what I come up with what I have already. Been really busy with vendoring stuff, and right now it's spring break. Right now it is winter break. It is the 29th of December, so finally was able to kind of like relax, not do so much. But not true, because I actually spent the last 2 days cleaning up the space, kind of reorganizing. I had a lot of my vendor stuff and the way I packed my products for vendoring out in like a main room or living room, like a communal space. And now that I'm done vendoring for the season, I wanted to put that stuff away so it's like in my space and out of the communal space, and kind of rearrange and everything. So I was able to do that. So if you recognize my space, there are a few things that are a little different, but for the most part is the same. It was nice to, excuse me, it was nice to just clean up. Like my desk is super clean. Like I usually have papers over there, but right now I don't. And like I'm gonna really try to have that be like a designated clear space. I can probably draw in that corner or paint in that corner, like traditional painting and drawing, versus like this side has more the digital, the tablet or whatever. So I'm gonna see how that works out. But yeah, so just refocusing myself. I want to keep doing vendoring stuff, so I try to reorganize things so I can easily grab my vendoring things, that it won't be like difficult. But also like if someone tries to order products and I still have like all my stuff here, then it'll be easy for me to grab those too. So not how I ideally would organize things, but it's a start. It's okay. So today, well tonight, it's really late in the evening, but tonight I'm just going to start a project. So I've mentioned this like in like a post, but not in a vlog, but I actually made a calendar. It's a calendar with like some of my favorite illustrations from this year, which is really awesome because I was able to put together 12 illustrations and make it into a calendar. So I made some for Patreon, and I made some to sell in person. Now I'm just going to use the rest of the material that I have to sell some online. I'm a little late. I should have done this sooner, but hopefully it's okay. Not too late in the end of the year game. Probably just gonna make like 2, 4, I don't know. Oh, actually I didn't make any yet for Patreon, so that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight. So 2 for Patreon, and then the rest will go in my shop. I don't think I have a lot that I can make, like maybe the most is 5, we'll see. So tonight the main process is just going to be printing, just so I have it ready, and then tomorrow we'll be back and I'll record myself making the process of it. So yeah, because it's kind of labor intensive, which is it's a lot. And also like the paper I got is really thick, but it's really nice paper, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so this is kind of a weird angle, but I'm using InDesign, and I laid it out. I honestly don't know if I'm using this correctly, but I laid it out in a way that helps me with the process of printing the calendar. So when I first initially started, I laid it out normally where this was like right side up and all that stuff, and in the order of like the correct months. If you see here, like I have December over here, but I have January upside down over here, but this is not the correct thing. And that's just part of the process of it being printed like a book. So after I figured out what artwork did I want for each month in the correct order and stuff, I also, like, this is all like generated by me or designed by me. I also added like moon phases, no holidays, but just moon phases, and yeah, that's really it. So now I just need to select the pages I'm going to print first. So that's going to be one side, and then after those are printed, I'm going to select the other side. So I'm just going to go, I don't know if you can, maybe you can see this. So on InDesign, there are these pages. So I'm just going to select the ones that I'm going to print first. And what's cool is, like, the way it's printed, when it's done, I just flip it to the other side and then select those to print, make the same amount of copies, and that's it. So for this, there are what, 14 pages or 14 spreads, so I need 7 sheets of paper. But for this one, this is going to be the Patreon run, so I'm going to make 2 sets, so I actually need 14 pieces of paper. Okay, I think that's 14. Should be fine. So the paper I'm using is a 8.5 by 14 paper. Hello, so it is the next day. My hair, okay, so I stayed up till 4 last night, this morning, to print all of the pages for the calendar. I got some drawing done during that time just to like monitor the printer, because for the most part the printer prints fine, but sometimes it'll like not grab the paper, so we need to do that. And also some ink ran out, so I was up till 4. I woke up pretty late. I woke up around 11, at exactly 11, without an alarm. Made myself a matcha latte. I started making that because my partner's dad has a espresso machine or whatever, and so I can make lattes with it. I don't drink coffee. Caffeine just does not do it for me. I get really jittery and stuff, but I can drink matcha, and I also like hojicha, but I noticed that also gets me a little like jittery and stuff. So I have a matcha latte that I made, and my mom made some babinka for Christmas, so I had that for breakfast. Had a meeting. It's this club thing for Patreon, for cannabis artists. Had that at 12. So I like woke up, was in bed, made my latte, was in that, and now it is almost 1:30. It's the next day. The footage I shared was me trying to print a lot of the pages for the calendar. So today we're gonna put the calendar together. So while I get set up, I'm gonna play some Hilda. The movie came out today, so I'm gonna stream that while making it, but I'm gonna change the view now so that we can get to calendar making. Here is all of that. All the pages for the calendar. Alright, let's get to making. Okay, so all set up. This is like the most space I've ever had on my desk, like since moving, and I usually always have stuff like stacked here, like papers and stuff, but I ended up, like, while cleaning, move things around and have this thing so I can keep it off my table. Yeah, so I'm really excited to have this space. Like, that's awesome. So yeah. Okay, so I need my triangle. Okay, so for this right now, we're gonna fold the papers and I'm gonna group them in the calendar set that it is. But yeah, first task is to fold. So how do I do this? So this is gonna be my first one, and then to keep track, I'm going to do this way. So very important to also take note of like how your calendar book is set up. So this is the front, or like, yeah, the cover. So obviously I want to be able to fold it in this way. The thing is I learned paper has long grain and short grain folds. So long grain means, if I'm looking at this, long grain would mean that the paper direction or whatever is long, so you can fold it long ways or hot dog ways and it won't buckle or, I don't know, crease. Like, it'll have a crease but it won't get all like weird when you fold it. This was a paper that I made a boo-boo on. Color didn't turn out right. My setting was incorrect. So long grain, if you fold this way, this is long ways, you can fold it, but you can notice like it's just not very like pretty or whatever. And then short ways, obviously that's the short, or short grain, that's the short ways. So when you fold it again, like it just doesn't look very nice when you fold it. So what we're going to do is we're going to score the paper using this bone folding, it's not actual bone, it's plastic, but bone folding tool and a straight edge. So again, this is going to be folded this way, so I want to score this paper in the middle on this side. This is a little handy triangle straight edge, triangle straight edge or whatever, and line it up. And then, so once that's lined up, I'm going to use my bone folding tool, I think is what it is, and just follow along that edge like once or twice, and then now I can easily fold it without making ugly creases. And then I go over that fold, push it down with the bone folding tool, and that's it. Oh, is actually okay, yeah, very important to just pay attention to how your work is supposed to be printed. I pulled this off, and obviously this is supposed to be folded this way, but then when I pull this off, this one actually gets folded in a different direction anyways. So I have a set folded, not yet stapled, but yeah, just a lot of fold and repeat. So here's one, gonna work on the others now.
wanted to stay. Get in my way. Go back around, start from the front, no matter what I wanna say. I might go back in time and make the change. I might go back in time and make the change. I'll say what I wanted to say.
close, ranging from a movie scene to made up people in my dreams. The last time, if I recall, was a feeling of being alone. I don't know if...
So now we're done. Have folded, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 will be for Patreon and the rest will be on my shop. And now the next thing to do is to staple it. So I'm going to show you what I have. So I actually have 2 different kinds of staplers. So this was actually the first one I've ever bought, and this is a cool one because it's a really long one. It's a normal size stapler, but underneath it you can like put paper in here and you know, measure out like where you want that paper to end so everything's even and stuff. And it's pretty neat. I've used this for the zine, the Inktober zine that I made, and yeah, that was fine. Because the other thing too is with the Inktober zine, I was using just like printer paper, like really not cheap, but like a thinner paper, and made my folds and did that. So this was great for that. But when I was testing it with a calendar, I noticed it was a lot harder to actually make or staple the papers because of how thick the paper was and where the fold was. So it could work, but to me the look of it was just not very, it was not to my liking. It didn't look clean, it didn't look pretty, and I was just so frustrated with like, oh, it doesn't sit right. And then when that happens, the calendar itself doesn't function in the way that it should. So I was like, what do I do? I was telling some friends of mine my dilemma, and these are like non-art friends, but they have made like books or pamphlets or brochures before, and they told me that this kind of stapler exists. So this is a booklet stapler, which is great because what it has this little like mountain that is great for folded materials like this. So I'm not going to use this one. This stapler is cool. I bought it like last year with the intention of like making zines. I didn't use it for like the whole time I had it until recently when I made the Inktober zine. So I'm definitely going to use this for like smaller things most likely, but not for this one. But just showing you 2 different kinds of staplers if you were to make like a book-like thing. So I'm going to put this one away and we are going to use this one. So how to use this one, really cool. I'm gonna maybe like line up, make sure first of all, I think everything should be in the order that it is. Just make sure that all the pages are in the order that they is. And I was kind of like looking at it too as I was putting them together. So yeah, everything looks good. So I'm pretty sure all of that looks good. Alright, so line that up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up. I'm going to zoom in. Let's see. So I'm going to line up this edge and see, notice this fits very nicely onto this little mountain thing. Just gonna make sure It's very nicely in there. And I just want to thank my friend who actually got this for me. I was looking like online, like when they mentioned it, I immediately looked online on the Amazon. This thing was like 30 bucks brand new. 30 bucks brand new. Via Amazon, it was like, okay, well, it can get to you like today. Like I was looking at like 11 p.m. at night or 12 p.m. I think, and then it was saying like, oh, it can get to you like right away if you order now since we have Prime. But my friends were looking on Craigslist and they were able to find one like a 10-minute drive from them for $5. And they live kind of far from me, but still close, still far, so they were so wonderful in that they picked it up for me for $5, and I got to see them in the city not long after, and I got this. So yeah, like really good deal. Okay, so I'm just kind of stalling while I talk and tell the story, but alright, so now that this is lined up, I learned while making this was to not like force like some of the edges. My only thing that I'm kind of forcing is that the pages are like really stacked, centered on top of each other, and then after that I just staple, and where it hits should be right in the center. And yes, it did right in the center of this seam, which is wonderful. So wonderful, because when I tried to do it with the other staple, oh my god, because this paper is so thick and the fold with all the papers, just putting it in that other stapler, it was not lining up. It was not hitting the center where it was supposed to be. But this one definitely has changed the game, and it's just so nice. Like so nice that I have this thing. And it's nice too because even in the middle, like the staple is right in the middle of the seam. So yeah, this is how I made my first calendar. Yay! All right, and now just repeat.
Picnic with my best friends. We start to plan what we will do. Now life's back in color and everything's feeling brand new. Well, I read that the French always say what's on their mind, leaving lipstick stains on tall glasses of wine. Practically invented being nonchalant for fun. They tear apart Voltaire just like afternoon croissants, strolling over bridges that were built in Renaissance. Isn't that what every romance loving 20-something woman wants? Midnight in Paris, I've always heard there's magic in the air as you're watching people dance by sand. Midnight in Paris, oh what a feeling. Steps on cobblestones, thinking this must be la vie en rose.
All right, so that is it. I completed all the calendars. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. The printing part is what took the longest. Just sending all of these to print. I think I started around 11 or 12 last night, like really late, which is also why I slept so late. So to print all of this in like sets of 2, or at least I tried to do sets of 2. Sometimes I wasn't able, printing issues. Anyways, that took a long time, and then like dealing with paper feed issues or needing to change inks, and also just being a little too focused on the art that I was making last night and kind of forgetting like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be printing more. So that took the longest, but it's nice because I was able to get stuff done along with it. And then yeah, so I didn't even finish Hilda yet, and these are done. So 2 of these are going to patrons, and I'm gonna be trying something new. I will most likely announce, we'll have already, so I'm making this but probably won't post this till later, but we'll most likely announce this, or have had announced this on Patreon. I am going to remove discount codes for Patreon, but that doesn't mean you don't get a discount. What I'm actually going to do is set up a secret shop in my website so that Patreon folks can get access to products at a discounted price without having to use discount. So whatever I've made for Patreon and all that stuff will be on there. I have to set it up, but I think I could do that fairly quickly. Yeah. So that is all.